I'm Dawn Commodell. I'm part owner of Star Nursery, and this is my daddy, Joseph Renatza, who is also part owner of Star Nursery. I am a fourth generation. My family started in the farm business in Plaquemines Parish in the 50s. We have moved into the directions of citrus. We have battered in just my lifetime. I remember the 82 freeze, the 83 freeze, and the 89 freeze. And that 89 freeze, we lost everything that year. When I tell you we lost everything, we lost everything. My daddy decided that we needed to figure out a way not to be caught like this again, so he started raising nursery trees in a greenhouse environment.
We have the best soil in the world. Before the levee system was built in the late 20s, early 30s, the Mississippi River used to be inundated with water. And this is how the soil came so rich. And that's why we have the best tasting fruit in the world.
So we're now up to close to 80 acres of high land, plus we own the swamp and of course the river badger.
Our fruit will never look like California's, because everything they raise in California is raised between the mountains. That's why our fruit is not as pretty, but we got the best taste than anywhere in the world.
Okay, we're out here this morning in one of our newest orchards, and it's probably been planted about 7-8 years now, and it has just starting to get to a point where it's getting some volume of fruit on the tree. Today, as we walk through this area, we have all my employees out here doing a spot picking again, trying to leave the ugly ones behind and try to get the newer ones. Okay, we have one of my pickers here, and he's been working with us for about 4 years, so he's pretty used to the process. They usually pick anywhere from 2 to 5 boxes an hour, depending on the availability of the fruit on the tree. At this point right here, they probably averaging today about 3.5 boxes of fruit. Alex just dumped his bag that he preferred to use into the field box. Our maximum number of picking baskets on the wagon, and that's 100 of them. So when they complete this whole wagon, they'll have 100 boxes. There is actually 3 months of harvesting. We usually start sometime in October, and the season usually ends at the first of the year. We currently have 15 H-2A employees. They range here from time between 9 to 10 months, depending on when I get visa appointments and when they actually go back home. All right, they have just completed a full wagon. 100 field boxes have been brought here to the packing house. And this is kind of what a full wagon looks like before we start running the fruit. One man grabs it, he's my dumper. First section here where it's called our de-leafer, and we let the leaves fall out, and then it goes on to our anti-sanitizing section. Approved chemicals to be put on to do an anti-sanitation process. Goes up the conveyor belt, and then it falls into our wash cycle. At this point is a series of a couple of hoses and brushes to wash out the dirt and so forth that might have accumulated. And then we come right to our grading section, and that person sorts through and gets the number 2s, something that might be rotten or disfigured, whatever, and then it goes up the conveyor belt, goes to our food safety wax, then it falls into our polishing section. The polishing section here has a series of about 20 to 25 brushes spinning at a very fast rate to give it a good shine to this for each piece of fruit. Falls onto our conveyor belt, which brings it to the sizing section. The concept of the sizing is that the smallest fruit falls to the bottom, the first bin, all the way to the largest piece of fruit. We have a series of several bins that the fruit falls in, starting with the largest fruit is going to be on the far end of the bin, which that's when you're running satsumas, that's pretty much what you're getting. Anywhere from a 176, which we call a 180 count, all the way up to a 120. People man the bins, they make sure the fruit gets into the box. Once it gets into the 40-pound box, comes down to our scale. Every box is weighed to make sure that there is 40 pounds of fruit and 2 pounds extra for the box, so 42 pounds. And they close the box up and they put the food safety stamps. And then you see our little yellow sticker which says it went through the food safety process, our tracking. And then once we get a full pallet of fruit, which usually consists of an 8 tie, 5 high, which is 40 pieces of fruit. We got Capital City's PO. Their trucks usually come sometime after lunch. We're gonna bring you in the cooler and show you what it looks like while we're waiting for Capital City to come today and pick up their 2 pallets of fruit. Start to finish, next process is that it's gotta get to Capital City so it can get in everybody's tables. We sell directly to chain stores. We sell directly to independent associations that supply independent grocery owners. Partners like Capital City Produce help us distribute our merchandise, in this case our Louisiana Satsumas, to a broad range of customers. Not only do they deal with the school systems, but they also deal with the restaurants. So you could arbitrarily go in any restaurant within the state and you might be getting on some entree or salad, you might be getting my Louisiana Satsumas without you even knowing it.
It's been about 25 years that we've been selling Capital City. We certainly appreciate Capital City coming to our farm, and we want you guys to remember, always buy local. When you buy local, you are supporting that community, and that community helps the farmer out.